Schopenhauer's shadow. The unconscious. From metaphysics to psychology, there's one concept that ties three of the most impactful thinkers of the past 2 centuries together. No borrowed argument. A shared suspicion that the conscious mind, which is the one that narrates your life, who reasons, is not the author of your life. There's something below doing the actual work. It was named first by Schopenhauer. Freud made it clinical. Jung pushed it into some place that no one had penetrated quite so far. The starting point of Schopenhauer was the body. Your body that you know in 2 ways, as seen from the outside, like any object, but also from the inside, the felt surge of intention before an action, the wanting that precedes any reasoning about what to want. That inner experience, he said, is first-hand knowledge of ultimate reality. He said it was a will, not willpower, not intention, something prior to both. A blind power that acts without the awareness of ideas developing, and then vanishes, leaving the conscious mind to fill in with a rationalization. To create a story where reason seems to have been master. The intellect is not the lord of the house, it is the servant. Freud started his practice in Vienna at a time when the rational agent model of the mind couldn't account for what his patients were teaching him. A woman who had been paralyzed in her arm without any neurological reason. Individuals whose actions were in direct opposition to what they said they wanted, without having access to the truth of what they really wanted, based on their own real experience. Freud's response was repression. Some wishes seem too dangerous to be conscious, and the mind drowns them out. They didn't disappear. They made pressure come from below to bend behavior, to come up in dreams as disguised versions of what could not be said otherwise. Freud had found the real motivator for this, the intellect as surface, what Schopenhauer had said philosophically, in consulting rooms. Symptoms that were not logical until we got out of our own heads and assumed that the patient didn't really know what he wanted. Jung is a follower of Freud. He met with something that his model can't contain. A patient who had no classical education told of seeing an exactly similar image in his vision to a passage in an obscure 2nd century text which he would never have been exposed to. Not similar. Identical. Jung referred to it as the collective unconscious. Not this person's repressed urges, but a deeper one felt by all people and imprinted upon the species. The units within that layer, which he named archetypes, are patterns that appear in patients, cultures, and over many hundreds of years of mythology. Not learned, structural. The 3 men did not agree with each other. Growth, hunger among the animals, gravity is all part of Schopenhauer's will. Freud's unconscious is subjective and influenced by the individual's life experience. Jung's collective unconscious is not quite compatible with, and that is why Freud was suspicious of it as mysticism. However, there is something exactly the same between all 3. Conscious reason comes downstream from something it did not create, and cannot see even if it wanted. The I, that is, the self who says, I chose this and I know why, is telling a story that is true as far as it goes, and doesn't reach quite as close to what it thinks as it could.